To the US now, where the rapper Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting and wounding the US hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion. During the trial in Los Angeles, the jury heard that Lanez had fired a gun at the singer's feet and shouted for her to dance back in 2020. The pair had left a party at Kylie Jenner's home in the Hollywood Hills. Well, Lanez's lawyer gave this response to the sentencing.
I think the sentence handed down was incredibly harsh. I have seen cases of vehicular homicide and other cases where there's death and the person still gets less than 10 years. And in this case, to get a 10-year sentence is extreme. And really just another example of someone being punished for their celebrity status and someone being utilized as to send an example. And he's not an example, he's a human being.
Tory Lanez's lawyer there. Well, the prosecution also gave its reaction to the verdict.
The fact that Ms. Pete is a successful entertainer has brought a spotlight on the important issue of violence against women. There are many people in our community that endure acts of violence every day from people close to them and feel reluctant to come forward when this happens. I hope that Ms. Pete's bravery gives hope to those that feel helpless. In fact, today, as sentencing, through her statement, and yesterday, Ms. Pete thought of others who have been similarly situated.
Well, from Los Angeles, our North America correspondent Peter Bowe summarises the case.
At the height of this trial, there was a cultural firestorm focusing in on the allegations against Tory Lanez and on Megan Thee Stallion, who at the end of the trial, the prosecution said had been subjected to repeated and grotesque attacks while bringing the case. Now, just to recap, at the end of last year, Tory Lanez was found guilty on 3 counts relating to the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. This goes back to a 2020 pool party at the home of the reality star Kylie Jenner. They were leaving the party. It seems that Megan and Tory Lanez got into some sort of argument over his musical ability. She says that he told her to dance, and it was shortly after that that she was shot in the foot. Now, he has maintained his innocence throughout. His lawyer said there was a botched investigation. The prosecution said the evidence pointed towards his guilt. And what we've just seen are 2 unusually long days during the sentencing phase of this trial. Long in large part because a number of people came forward. The judge received many letters, people providing character witnesses for Tory Lanez and supporting his plea not to be sent to jail for these offences. In fact, he addressed the court and he said of Megan Thee Stallion, he said she was someone he still cared for dearly to this day, no matter what she may think of him. He said he was the victim's friend. Now, we didn't hear directly from Megan Thee Stallion in the courtroom. She says she struggled with the decision as to whether to appear in person, but she did present a statement, and in that statement she said she hadn't experienced a single day of peace since the shooting. She said mercy is for people who show remorse, and Lanez had shown none. And she said she wanted his sentence to be a message for every woman who's a victim of violence. And that was a theme that was also continued by the prosecution as they commented after the sentencing. And they said of Megan, paying tribute to her, they said that she had faced unjust and despicable scrutiny that no woman should ever face, and that she had been an inspiration to others. And speaking of the issue that really dominated parts of this case over many months, and that is the issue of women, black women in particular, who are reluctant to come forward to report crimes, abuse, sexual abuse, because of the fear that they will not be believed. And they said that this case highlighted the numerous ways that society could do better for women. As far as Tory Lanez was concerned, his lawyer is asking for another trial. They say that he is being punished through this 10-year sentence because of his celebrity status, and that there are significant issues to answer.
Peter Bowes there. Earlier, I spoke to Megan Cuniff, a legal affairs journalist who is in the courtroom covering the case, and she told me about what could happen next.
He, of course, can appeal. He'll have time to file the notice. There will be a process for that. And anyone who appeals a case in California is entitled to oral arguments. So 18 months from now, this will be before the appellate court. The question is, are there viable issues that are going to actually overturn this conviction?
So there is perhaps even a remote prospect that this returns to court and that Megan Thee Stallion could be asked to appear again.
Extremely, extremely remote.
Extremely remote, okay.
Very remote.
It's not often we have this kind of celebrity on celebrity case, particularly when it comes to the violence, which is at the heart of this case. I wonder how closely have these proceedings been followed where you are?
Oh, very, very closely. The attention on this it was just astonishing to me in the very beginning when I started covering it, just the attention that everyone is paying attention to this. And I think it would be a huge story no matter what. But somebody pointed out to me that when this happened, it was really the height of the pandemic, the summer. Everyone was being told to stay inside. Everyone was on the internet. So the buzz on the internet was, of course, just all about this. And it just carried through for the next 3 years.
Megan Thee Stallion has spoken herself of the emotional wounds that she suffered as a result. Tory Lanez clearly feels like he's been hard done by. I wonder what you expect could be the impact on these individuals' careers. We are talking about show business in Los Angeles, after all.
Yeah, well, I don't think Tory's going to be able to do much of a career when he's in prison. I don't think they have recording studios there. I'm not sure he'll be able to, make much music there. But Megan's career is taking off and has taken off. And Tory's lawyer even acknowledged that, said that she's acknowledged her Nike endorsements and her concert schedule, and she's very busy. So I think we're only going to continue to see Megan's star rise.